Okay, I don't know why that was the case, but that was the case. Um, I was on H.264 because I thought that would work a little simpler, but it wasn't. So now I'm on H.265, HEVC, instead of ABC. If you guys have experience with that kind of setting in OBS, could you comment that stuff down below? Help me out a little. It seems to be working fine on H.265, just the video, I overloaded the encoding process, so the first half of this video might be a little choppy. I'm not gonna lie, I am sorry if it is. I'm gonna review it. Anyway, before we get too far, I'm gonna go ahead and just briefly touch up on this. I don't think, yeah, it's running smoothly now. Yeah, nothing crazy. Alright, so we identified our take profits. We also discussed there is no news today, so there's nothing really worth being concerned about. We can go and check again. I have no problem doing that. We have GBP, GDP at 2 a.m., but nothing for USD, so nothing big, nothing major. We discussed that we were in a downtrend. We had a fair value gap here that we could be taking profit from. I don't want to put too many lines on this chart. I'll keep it outside the range for now. But in the event the bias goes higher, we'll have the trading view app up, so you can see the take profit lines as well as the fair value gap line that I've got jotted down here for our take profit zones, as well as our potential for making a break in structure anywhere, really. We have a fair value gap here for this high specifically. Just a potential zone for confluence, as well as a potential that is a doji candle, right? And it's also a potential, it's a retrace that failed and was respected, so breaker block here. We should be seeing price continue on down for this breaker block. It'll just continue. I think that's the move from this point forward, specifically. All these green lines here are take profits. We have relative equal lows off of this low and this low here. We have order block here, or actually, sorry, bottom of the fair value gap, order block off of these two, and then relative equal lows at this bottom line here. And then, of course, one random draw on liquidity way out there, but I don't think that bottom line is going to hit. I think these might, but this one definitely won't. Yeah, that's currently where we are. I don't think there was much else to it. We had an S&T divergence on from the NASDAQ to the S&P on a high time frame. This saying price would continue higher. We see it moving higher. Cool, but it didn't close above this high here, and this doji indicated very strong indecisiveness. We had alternating doji candles, graveyard candle on both NASDAQ and the ES. Again, same story. Nothing really occurring yet. We're seeing this move up here, but again, per the S&T, I think we're going to be seeing price continually move down, assuming that this candle on the S&P does not close above this, and the very next move we have continues down and then breaks past this low and continues moving lower. Market has not opened yet. I just wanted to reconfirm that, so that way in the event the previous video was corrupted because I chose to change the codec and overload it for my dumb reasons. That's a thing. Hopefully the audio is still intact. I changed it from ABC to HEVC, so there should be relative equal goodness out of both. I didn't change anything about the audio or the audio tracks. Everything about that stayed the same. It's just the codec that I changed, so it should not change much, if at all. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and pause the video now, and hopefully not crash OBS a second time. It looks like it's working fine though. All the audio levels are doing their thing. That's doing the thing. I've been recording for technically 5 minutes off of this one, but I was recording for like 25 off the other, so kind of bites that it ruined that, but I'm not gonna complain at the same time. Yeah. Let's just work my way through this. Hopefully we have a decent trade today. Comment down below how you think trade's gonna go. Consider sharing it with a friend if you're newer on the comeback and you enjoyed the content, because the content is me attempting to make money from scraps. So that's the thing. Like the video if you enjoyed it. It's a lot of asking from me on you, but it also helps me grow as a person and a channel, right? Helps me grow the channel. Yeah. For an honest second, I thought my phone was actively about to die. I'm like, there's no way. I've sat here doom scrolling, just about to kill my phone out of sheer boredom. Ugh. That's the alarm for market open. People, market has opened. Real quick, let's go ahead and just review what we said about the hour. We had this uptrend, retrace, failed, disrespected, failed retrace, sorry, reaction, yeah, reaction off of this. It closed within range of this failed retrace, breaker block, order block, sweep of the lows. Since then, we've seen reaction off of here, failed retrace here, reaction off of here, respected, sweep of this low here, which is cool. From that sweep, it left a fair value gap. This fair value gap continued on down. It didn't really change anything outside of that. We had a little indecisiveness occur here and here. Continuation all the way down to this little bit here for this general downtrend at the moment. From here, we said, what did we say? I completely forgot what we said. I'm trying to think about what I said here, because I'm pretty sure it would have something along the lines of, this was a failed retrace off of this downtrend, right? And that if this closed above it, that would make this an order block and this a sweep. This a break of structure and a new move. We didn't get a break of structure. Though the move was higher, it didn't break structure. We're still in a downtrend. This is the current low. This is the new low. We are still within range of the high and low for London session. NASDAQ has broke past this high. Price says it wants to continue higher. If this closes on NASDAQ, we broke structure on the NASDAQ, which means the S&P is soon to follow, which works. That makes sense. That being the case, we're still in a downtrend outside of the NASDAQ. Outside of the NASDAQ. There's still a high time frame on the hour S&T divergence, saying price is going to continue lower. That is from here to here on the S&P, and from here to here, it says it's going to go higher. NASDAQ is continuing higher. S&P is actually going lower. There is a divergence. Charts do not align. I'm convinced that the bias should lie in what the chart presents and not the daily, the 4-hour, or the hourly. So this can be in a downtrend for all I care. But if the setup, this entire zone, these next couple of candles right here, decide, okay, we're going to move past this high, close above, and then continue, that's where I'm going to stop. Look at the chart for all that it's worth and make a decision based on what it's presented. right now on the S&P, because that's the only chart I'm interested in trading on, if we have not broke structure. Yes, we've gone higher in price, but we have not broke structure out of this downtrend. When we get a closure above this high, that's when we'll have broke structure. Only then will I consider a long position. Until then, I'm considering a short position based on trend. The daily is in retrace. I wonder what the 4 hours actually got to say right now. So we're moving back up out of this. We broke structure on the 4 hour. 4 hours says go short. Daily says go long. The hour says go short. With the exception of the next couple of candles, which I'm more than inclined to wait for, to be completely honest. We need to go for 950, which means I'm going to drag this all the way down to the 30-minute. We broke structure on the 30-minute. We're seeing that retrace here. We see price move up above here, but it has not closed above. Here's that sweep from before. Retrace up, failed. Retrace, reaction, cool, it closed within this. This was, of course, one big candle, and then we had a small move down. That move down was the reaction to this. It closed within. Respecting the breaker block, order block, and then sweep down. Retrace it back up. Again, indecisiveness on 2 candles there. From this, we saw price continue on down. This was a failed retrace. It continued down from here. It closed up, and within this, valid breaker block on the higher time frame. From this breaker block, it said continuation. That break blocks are continuation confluences. We should see price continue on down. That should be the thought there, right? From the general downtrend. Because this is a valid breaker block, we're looking for the repeat move. So, in other words, it'll retrace down, which is what it's doing. See the move back up, right? And because this breaker block was respected and is not being closed above this high being valid now, I think we're in line to see price. This might actually be an order block, and we should see price continue lower. It was filled. The breaker block will need to break structure for it to be a valid move. Each one of these is 15 minutes. We have 45, 10, and then 10:30 here. We have these spaced out 10:10, 10:30, 9:50, 9:30, right? I think time rounds down, so from 10 it would go to 10 instead of 15. Outside of that, we were to consider that to be the case. If that's correct, and we did just hit that right there, this is a key level hit, saying yes, this is a sweep of the high manipulation, so we can move on down. We would consider this a liquidity, not sweep, but the valid breaker block pose, right? Because on the 5-minute we had trace up, right, from our 30-minute here. Because remember, we said this was our breaker block here, and this was the reaction. We want this to be an order block, and this to be a sweep, which means it would need to break structure. Wait for it to break structure there. That break of structure is going to lead into a new move. That new move will have been a sweep at that point. Let's go to the 5-minute. From here, we need to look for break of structure, inverse value gap, S&T divergence. From the sweep, we would need right here. We caught it just in time, actually. 510. We'd be looking for either a break of structure or inverse value gap. I'm convinced it's going to be a break of structure. We have a minute 35 for this candle to close. We either get a break of structure. We have to get a break of structure because that right there manipulated the high. And that was a valid breaker block. I am sold on shorts. It might be the bad idea, though. If we do not break structure on this candle or the next, I don't know. We have a minute for that to break structure. Once that's the case, we'd be looking for a fair value gap, breaker block, order block within equilibrium. To confirm this break of structure or see a continuation confluence. Seconds. Let's go ahead and see and wait for this to occur. We want this to occur. Alright, we did not break structure on that candle. My bias is broken. Shorts, I don't know. We had a price gap there as well as a fair value gap. I'm convinced this was an inverse fair value gap right here. Very small inverse fair value gap, but inverse fair value gap nonetheless. We even had a price gap imbalance that was filled via this move down. With that being said, what did this candle do to provide us a confluence? Because we said on this down move, breaker block, retrace, back up to here. That retrace led to this down candle, order block, move down. We said it would need to break structure. Let's see if it broke structure on the 30 minutes. It has yet to break structure on the 30 minute. Instead, we moved higher off the price, which is completely fine. We have 18 minutes for this to close. We want to see price break structure. That's a low there. Let's go to 5 minutes. This low right here. If this closes below this, that's a break of structure on a high time frame. It's also going to give us a fair value gap that's formed here. That fair value gap is what we want. From there, we'd move to the 1 minute, but we need to wait. 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 I'm rushing into this entirely too fast, because the entirety of this trade bases itself off of the inverse fair value gap I've spotted here. That's either an inverse fair value gap that's just formed, in which case the bias is correct short, or it's wrong and we're about to see a reversal back to the upside. This will be a doji, and we'll see it continue up, break structure all the way up there. See the fake out occur within these two candles here. I'll just soar higher. This is saying go low, go short, which makes sense. On the 5 minute, we had a fair value gap, move up, respected fair value gap, nothing closed above it. This opened higher than it, but that's okay. Because that was the case, we saw leg up, cool. We broke structure here. It was in an uptrend. Then we broke structure on this candle because we broke below that low there. Cool. From that retrace there, it was a successful failed retrace, disrespected breaker block, order block, sweep. Order block was filled. From this order block, we see fair value gap. I think we need to go to 1 minute. We either get a break of structure here soon, or we see price continue to tank and move lower. I'm convinced on a short position. If it hits this key level here, I'm convinced to enter in on a short. It's got 16 minutes. We're currently at 9:43. Let's go to the hour, see what's doing in the hour. Yeah, fail retrace, move down, breaker block there. I think. Ooh, hello! I just realized something. Okay, so we're in a downtrend, right? This is a breaker block, a respected breaker block, saying that price would continue on down. If price continues down at this rate, right? If it continues down, but the dojis reign supreme, it'll close within the breaker block because it's within the price range, right? This will turn into an order block, and the move will be up. See the problem there? That's got to turn into an order block on the hourly. We would not break structure. We would not have a fair value gap. I think we'd be relying on the S&T divergence at this point, because even that's higher than this low is. The charts at the moment match. That was a respected breaker block there. We had a doji there. This was not quite as bad a doji as it was on the S&P. The S&T is still the same. This moved down. The order block is what causes the liquidity sweep. That right there is a strong draw on liquidity. I think we need to go long, to be completely honest. Because that, both are respected breaker blocks saying price is going to continue lower. But if price continues lower, and also does not close underneath that, it is going to be a order block that forms. Let's go to the order block note right quick, because clarification is needed on something. Order blocks happen at the tops and bottoms of trend. Bottom of trend. When an order is placed or filled depending on the trend, immediately after the move repeats itself into a repeat move. Okay, this actually can be found in a green move. It's not candles. This will always be found on either at the top of trends. Do not mistake simulation. Will only be used to indicate break structure for value gaps. Okay, that's fair. Okay, so this makes sense until you read the note. They are not meant to be used to indicate breaks of structure or fair value gaps. Okay. So we're not going to use the order block to indicate the break of structure, because when the break of structure forms, that's the leg of liquidity sweep we were looking for. So my thought process is, because this is a breaker block, breaker blocks occur right before order blocks. Order blocks are the moves that cause liquidity sweeps, ultimately the move we're trying to catch. In order to catch that move, we need to identify a order block. Order block is multiple candles in the same leg down or up, dependent on trend. In a downtrend is typically leg up and then continuation down for the sweep of the lows. But in this case in particular, because we have two dojis saying that price is not going to reverse, it is indecisive on what price wants to do, and we had a successful breaker block here, right? On the bottom of a trend, this downtrend specifically. The indecisiveness tells me price wants to move higher, and that this leg down, based on the continuation confluence of this breaker block, is actually going to form an order block. This order block, once closed, will then result in a leg up and a break of structure above this high, which will have created our liquidity sweep. What order blocks occur in the same price range breaker blocks form. Where's my breaker block? Here to here. If it closes within here to here, respected breaker block, defined order block. And if the candles continue moving down, that's cool. That's cool. We'd move to the 5 minute and we'd look specifically for an order block. non-order block, break of structure out of, or inverse for value gap. If this is our valid order block, this candle, this move up, whatever this is, multiple candles, need to close up here to inverse this. That's our first confluence. That's our first one. Inverse. This would be a valid run-up too, because we had downtrend up until this break of structure, resulting in the breaker block in general. And then because of this retrace, another run-up to the manipulation of these lows, we see this as a potential reversal. Long is where I'm aiming towards now. We have 13 seconds for this to close. That is going to be a strong confluence of an inverse for value gap if that closes. 2, 1, inverse for value gap. Right then and there. Off of the inverse for value gap, we're looking for fair value gap to form. Way up above, order block, breaker block, or an equilibrium. For price to come with an equilibrium. That's on the 5 minute. Between the low and the high. I need to do a little bit more watching of those videos to really dial in the implementation of each one of those steps, because they are equally as understandable as they are misrepresentable when applying them to a chart. Definitely going to be watching videos over this weekend. Definitely will be. So. This is a well-defined order block, right? In an uptrend, we would need a retrace down. Boom. This is a retrace, right? The higher trend is down, and we treated this as an order block that happened within the price range of a breaker block. Well, the breaker block can still continue, which means the move just consolidated, right? If that's the case, that's okay. It's okay. What we want to see, though, is a leg that says order block or potential liquidity sweep. We're going to see that sooner when it breaks structure, right? On the 5 minute, we're primarily looking for a continuation confluence that the order block we identified on the higher time frame was correct. That being a key level hit, it would be the opposite. So for a breaker block to form off of this, it would need to close within the price range of the previous trace of the previous move. So from here to here, it would need to close within, right? For that to be a valid breaker block. For it to be an order block, it would need to close right at range, but not break structure. It can go above, close at range, and then sweep the lows, right? If it doesn't do that, though, it's not an order block, not a sign of continuation. The fair value gap is the next best thing. This could close. We have a fair value gap. Sweet, it'll continue higher. That's a confluence, right? But we're treating this as the inverse fair value gap to this, because again, we did not realize this was an order block until we re-examined, and we saw this close on the 5 minute, giving us our first 5 minute confluence that this was an inverse fair value gap. Okay. From this move, I'm tempted to do two things. First, if this candle closes, right, and we do in fact have a fair value gap off of previously inverted fair value gap, that's dirt cheap easy. We can then move on to the 1 minute and identify a breaker structure or an inverse fair value gap to the downside, press buy, wait for it to go higher. Or, because this is an order block and we know this is the range, right? This range tells us where price is going to close, and if it closes within it, it's more than likely going to be a continuation of a breaker block, which means it can consolidate and then go the way we don't want it to. See the problem? That's the biggest risk at the moment that I'm taking, is not knowing if this is going to turn into a breaker block or an order block, and solely relying on the fair value gap as the continuation confluence that price might continue higher. It could continue higher, but there's that grain of salt that says de-risk, and I'm more than happy to hit it because I'm not completely comprehending what market wants to do. We had our run up, I think. The mode was down until we hit the high. Watched it come down into breaker block range, form the order block on the higher time frame. That's a fair value gap confluence. We'd be looking for a break of structure. That is a 1 second move. I'm looking for the 1 minute move. I'm looking for a break of structure or an inverse fair value gap. That's literally it. Either price comes down as this, close below it. We enter in on buy position, watch it go low, and then hit up high. Or it breaks structure. Keep in mind we're in a downtrend. I'll say downtrend. For the 1 minute, we're in an uptrend. For the 5 minute, we're in an uptrend. I think. Are we in an uptrend on the 5 minute? 1 moment. We're in a downtrend. The bias is long. 1 second. Break of structure. I'm gonna press buy. Let's see how high it goes. Okay. I'll put this here. We'll put stop loss right there, just below that low. Now our take profit. Because remember, we marked it out on the other one. My take profit is going to stop right up here, this high. That's outside. This is right here. I think I'm going to put it right below this. That's a decent risk to reward in my opinion. I have no problem with that. Let's see how high this goes, shall we? We didn't break structure on the hour. Let me make something perfectly clear. We did not break structure on the hour. The thought process is, because this was a closure within, right? And this was the retrace down, the reaction to this that closed and respected it. This right here would have been an order block, because it closed within the breaker blocks range. And so we should see a sweep. The break of structure needed here, and the continuation higher. Because we swept this high, price said we wanted to go higher. Okay. From that, we see this wanted to go higher. Cool, no biggie. What we did, we saw this fair value gap, and we waited for a inverse fair value gap to form. Boom, we got it. What happened after that? What did we choose to decide what was the real kicker? What told us we'd go even higher? Well, we got an inverse fair value gap. Boom, here. But we also got a fair value gap form off of this candle closure. We had from here to here. Complete gap. I said price would actually continue higher. Okay. How much higher? We don't really know, but we know it's going to continue higher. So we went to the 5 minute. Under the notion that price was going to continue higher, we waited for a break of structure out of a downtrend. We didn't get a break of structure out of a downtrend until it was already too late off of this fair value gap here. Remember, this was a red candle. This is a green candle. This is 3 red candles. This is one or two green candles inversing this. This was our fair value gap. This right here was the move. Went down, right? Right? Moving down, we didn't get a break of structure because remember this is a low. This is a low. We didn't get any of that. Instead, we got nothing. So I may have jumped the gun a little bit too soon. Just a bit. Which means we need to be extra careful. Extra apparent. We got a fair value gap right there. That could have been an inverse fair value gap. Right there to right there, over there on the red from this fair value gap right here. This inverted it, so it would continue higher. It's a smaller one, but it is a fair value gap nonetheless. Let's see what the 30 minutes is saying right quick. We broke structure on the high time frame. That's what we wanted to see. Let's see what the hour is saying. Hour broke structure. What does the 4 hour say? 4 hour, we still have not broke structure. Failed retrace, move down, reaction. Did it close within the range? No, so prices actually got to go a little bit higher to fill this breaker block right here. I think we need to look at this right here as a potential take profit. That would make the most sense. I think I've also marked the top of this right here as a potential take profit. Price should continue higher up into this. We have our stop loss set down here. We're gold on that being a stop loss. That's the 4 hour though. This is the 1 hour. I think I did a pretty good job. I did terrible on the 1 minute confluence. That's my mistake. That's my fault entirely. Big ouch on that part. The 5 minute confluences, though, I think I nailed. I think I did pretty good on those. The high time frame confluences, I also nailed. We identified a key level I thought was okay. Found a breaker block where we were supposed to look for an order block off of a high that was hit from that breaker block's closure, and we entered based on that. Thank you, much appreciated. Yeah, bitch gets you gravy, y'all. I can't wait to borrow that. But we have a breaker block and order block form. Now we're waiting for that general sweep to occur. Slide that to the side. Yeah, it's just a matter of seeing and knowing where the heck this is gonna go. Did I jump the gun? Potentially. Potentially. I am not ashamed to admit I may have jumped the gun. Not ashamed of it. Ultimately, this is me learning how to trade, and for you guys to learn from my mistakes in the event you guys are interested in learning yourselves and are taking the same course I did. I did not pay a dime for the course I took, so I don't expect you to pay a dime for this info either. Yay. I'm gonna sit and watch this for a little bit and eat my breakfast. I'll get back with you guys when I'm satisfied with the trade and if it continues to go the way I want it to. We entered in on 9:55 and we have a little bit to go before 10:30 hits. We have our stop loss here. I should really set that lower because that is not the low for the session. That was like low sessions right there. I'm gonna set it just below this low. Reconfirm that so that way it's there. Good and dandy. The risk to reward, I think I set it to the top of the fair value gap. Yeah, I set it to the top of the fair value gap. So I did this. Let me go ahead. I'm gonna put this here so you can see this movement nice and good. You see stop loss down there. You see this right here. There's plenty of space to move higher. But on trading view, because I can do this, we entered in on a long position. We entered in on the 955 candle. Right here, roughly there. Stop loss was placed just below this low-ish there, and the take profit was roughly put there. So not a good risk to reward. Not a good one. But if the reaction is strong enough and it continues higher past this, I am more than willing to take this take profit and put it more like up here. That's going to give us a little bit better of a risk to reward, a 1.44-ish. And again, once this actually clears the first two take profits, I have no problem taking this and moving it to like right there, just below the order block. Or just above the order block off that last candle. That'll give us a little bit better of a return. Do I think this was a good trade? I'm going to say no. Modestly, I'm going to say no. At the same time, I could be proven wrong here in the next couple of minutes. We'll see. I'm going to pause up now, eat some breakfast. Be right back. Hope you guys are enjoying the video. If you are, you know what to do. I'll see you guys in, yeah. Stuff. Determined. Determined? Stuff determined. What's determined about stuff? Stuff? Comment section. Stuff. Anyway. The idea was right. Ish. Kinda, sorta. Was it right? I think it's right. I mean, we've made 10 pennies. Not bad. We've made more than what I lost previously, and I imagine it'll continue higher. I've put a little line here to determine the current low that we should not be breaking structure off of. If we break structure, and it closes, and it is a confirmed break of structure, I'm more than inclined to leave market before it gets too much lower. I'd like to keep the 9 pennies I made. I'd like to. I imagine that's not going to be the case for very much longer. But, yeah, I mean, we caught the general move high, which was the idea. My thought process was on the higher time frame that we'd see price continue higher up into this range here, just because this would have been the filling gap on the higher time frame for an order block to get filled, right? And from this move down would be an order block. We'd see the return of moving higher. We don't want it to continue low though. We want it to continue higher. We have 2 minutes 43 seconds. I really hope this doesn't break structure, because if it does, it's gonna suck, kinda. I'd like to see it continue higher. I'd like to see it that way. I know this is one of those moments where I need to be a little bit more patient than what I was before. We jumped the gun hard on the 1 minute. Not gonna lie. I am not gonna be upset if this trade fails, but at the same time, if we get stopped out because of my negligence in seeing the fact that this right here could easily be a complete reversal, problem. That's a problem on my part. I need to figure out where to freaking solve it. This is what I'm talking about, though. This right here on the 4 hour is one green candle, and this on the 4 hour is one red candle, right? If this were a failed retrace from the previous uptrend, that would mean this right here is the range we have to close within to fulfill this breaker block, which means the next move later on in the day is actually going to be an order block. That order block is going to close low, which is in line with this. That's fine. But to continue even higher, it would mean this would need to close within a breaker block, which would be this right here, after it's continued lower. I want to see, because we broke structure on the hour and the 30-minute, and we have on the 5-minute, not a break of structure yet. We have a minute to go. I really don't want that to break structure. I really, 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 really don't. We got up to 12 cents. We got up to 12 pennies. 12 smackaroos. I want to see price continue higher. I know it's probably not going to happen, but I want to see it continue higher. The way it is right now, we're in a downtrend on the hour. Not the hour. Are we in a downtrend on the hour? No, we broke structure on the hour. We are on a downtrend for the 4-hour, because the 4-hour is looking like this. That's the 4-hour. Break of structure is way to flip up there, and my take profits right there. This is a big leap, because that is a fair value gap that we've got to get through. And if it closes above this, sure, that's break of structure, but it's still got that fair value gap to bridge. And this is what I'm talking about when I say breaker block filling, because we have this failed retrace off of this uptrend and the break, not the break of structure. Is this a break of structure? It is break structure here. We broke structure here. This is what makes us into a downtrend. Because of this break of structure and the fact that this move resulted in a retrace that failed to begin with, right? The following move down created a wide range for the next move to fail, ultimately leading to the continuation of the downtrend. If this move fails, meaning it closes within this high and this low, it will then result in a continuation confluence down. This is a breaker block that's forming currently. We're placing a bet from here up that it's going to continue higher and we can leave out on top. I can see what's happening. I don't want it to happen, but it's gonna happen. Our job, my job, is to see this and go, okay, I want price to continue higher, but I'm not willing to sit here and wait for it to fail on me to continue higher. And especially when I know the 4-hour is begging the price to just barrel on through all the stop loss. So, we're going to watch this like a hawk. We're going to look at the low right here. And if in this time this low is closed underneath, I'm more than happy to leave market with whatever we have here after this candle's closed. That's currently what I'm thinking. Have we broke structure on the 30-minute? No, we have not. On the 30-minute, we are still in an uptrend. We broke structure here. We've been in an uptrend since. 30 minutes in an uptrend. I think the hour's in the uptrend, is it not? Thought I said it was. Yeah, hour's in the uptrend. So right now, the bias is with the hour and the 30. The two of them match and coincide. The 5-minute and the 4-hour are currently on the same track on the downtrend. I want to see price continue higher. I want to see my take profit hit for once. I think patience is needed. An exercise of patience has been called upon, and from it I shall oblige. I see this, and I recognize that it is a break of structure. And I do not want to stay in market for my longer than welcome stay. I don't want to overstay the welcome within market. But at the same time, I want to see one of these get hit before I leave. Is that too much to ask? Probably. Is that a bad way of thinking when it comes to the market? Definitely. What's another way I can look at it? Yes, we have it light back down. What did this hit? It got to right there. So what did that fill? We broke past the high, which was cool. I don't even know what this hit, though. What this hit? I think this filled a breaker block over here. If I had to guess. This is the 30-minute. Woo. Sorry about that. It took me by surprise. I'm gonna pause up the video. Woo. Sorry. Super dusty in here today. We broke structure. Have we broke structure on the 30-minute? No. Nope. We even have a fair value gap still. That could be what it's doing. It could be coming back down to claim up this fair value gap, solve the imbalance, and then shoot higher. But now that right there is matching. Value gap for value gap. Price has swept these highs here and is within this fair value gap range here. This is a much larger gap compared to the S&P being like this right here. And we've already noted that this right here was the bottom of the breaker block. The top of the order block. So, or the top and bottom of the order block. So this is within the range to look for the closure within and disrespect and continuation down. But for the NASDAQ to sweep these highs means price has got to go higher to sweep these highs on the S&P. That's currently what I'm thinking is happening. So I'm gonna pause the video. I think price is going to continue higher. I'm just going to wait patiently for it. If we wind up losing, ow, I know what to do from this point forward. I'm not going to make the same. Okay, so this is one of those brief few moments where things get a little wonky, right? Because I'm looking at this move here, and it's got to close above. If it closes above, yay. If not, we're leaving the trade. It's got to close above. Got to close above. It's got to hit this take profit right here. That's the one. That's the goal. There's take profit one hit. That works. Is it asking a lot for the next one? I don't think so, but at the same time, I can understand it if it is. It's still got to close above. We got 2 minutes, 30 seconds for that to go. I'd like to manage a portion of the percentage out, but because I'm using literally 0.01 lots, and that's the lowest integer it'll go, I can't section off in slices. So I'm stuck with having to wait for either a desired outcome or the ulterior and an exit strategy. Okay. Yes, I was daydreaming just then. This right here. Come on. 30 seconds. I feel like we should have closed as soon as this right here was met. Because right now, that could have been a retest. $0.13. 13 cents is an improvement instead outside of this right here. Come on, 3, 2, 1, close. Let's go. Yay, closed. Above. We broke structure out of this downtrend. Exactly we did with this candle, but who's counting? I'm talking about this 30 minutes right here. Out of this move down, we broke out of it with this move up. We have 14 minutes for this candle to close. This candle on the high time frame has got to close above this in order for it to continue higher. At that point, we'll have a break of structure off of this downtrend on a 30-minute time frame outside of this candle, obviously. And we'll see a return of take profit up here. We need this 14 minutes to be very, very up. We need uppies on the high time frame in order for it to continue the way we want it to. I really want it to continue higher. We have stream at 2 p.m. and I am entitled to leave. That says 11:45. That is 11:45. Oh boy. The next high. The next high needs to go higher. If we break past this, and not even on a close, if we break past this, I'm more than willing to close the position completely and call it a day, to be honest. So far, it's been successful. We've got 12 cents over the previous -7 that we had before, so we made back 5 pennies beyond the negative. So we're positive 0.05 right now, which is a step up. I mean, the idea was correct. I've executed it flawlessly. I identified a problem early on before anything else, and I cross-referenced them to best fit the key level to read the chart as accurately as possible so the entrance could be swimming. The entry could have done with a little bit more finesse, but I'm not going to complain. We broke past the highs. It wasn't just a sweep, it was a closure. We are in an uptrend at the moment. We even have a fair value gap saying it'll continue higher. So we have 2 minutes for this candle to close. If it closes with that fair value gap the way it is and it does not inverse, we're going higher. If it inverses, we might be screwed. Don't know though. How long have I been recording for? We paused for a long time. I've recorded for like 10 minutes. It's only been an hour. Crazy. Crazy, crazy work. I really hope the audio is being recorded. It should be. I just changed the codec. That's all I did. The encoder. The video encoder. I changed it from 264 to 265. All the audio should be recorded. If not on the MKV, the MP4. And both audio, like, volumes should be up. There shouldn't be a problem with you being able to hear me. It's being recorded twice over, my voices, on 2 different tracks. When I post this video raw to YouTube, it's going to be one loud track of me, music, and fan. Okay. Ugh. Oh, I just realized I forgot my work attire. Sorry. A little better. Just a smidge. Good. Good, good, good. Move down's not bad, as long as we can see a rebound afterwards. It's not within range of that, so it doesn't matter at the moment. My fair value up to the thing as well. Let's see what's happening exactly. So we have on the hour, just so we're on the same page, very high indecisiveness. We're in an uptrend on the hour. We broke structure. We've been in an uptrend since price has gone all over the place through this. Not bad. Let's move to the 30 minutes, see what's happening in the hour, right? On the 30 minute, we have that being a thing. We had a downtrend there, break of structure, fairly simple. We're still in an uptrend. We have not closed below the low, and this right now would be considered the low of the move. Outside of that, we have a 5 minute structure here. Boom, we broke structure temporarily, then rebounded and broke structure again. Back to the high side. That's what we're seeing here. This is a retrace from that reaction. We're looking at a retrace down. I believe this is going to form a breaker block, so we'll have a retrace down, a reaction that'll close within, and then a brief closure below, and then it'll spike up higher again. That's what I'm thinking will happen. We might not be so lucky considering we're in an uptrend, and that's literally the logic we used last time to identify the down order block to move higher. So I think we're looking at a potential reversal situation right here, because we're looking at manipulation of the previous high and now the move down from that. Outside of that, I think higher time frames hold higher power. I know not to put my faith in all of it. I also know the 4 hour says we're on a downtrend. And the daily still says we are in an uptrend. And we're looking at a retrace at the moment. And one of these candles is every 5 minutes. So we have 5 minutes in 2 minutes, 40 seconds in this for it to fire. Let's see what it does. If it continues higher, that works for us, because that means, we'll hit another take profit. We shall see, though. We shall see. I seriously can't wait to stream, dude. I haven't played Destiny 2. I've played Destiny 2, but I haven't recorded or streamed Destiny in so long. The last time I did something like that was back on the original Xbox, back on Destiny 1 when it first came out. And it was towards the end of the game, and I don't remember half of my playthrough on that game. I remember going through stuff on that game, existential crises on that game, but I do not remember half of the stuff I would have known to better prepare myself for Destiny 2. And Destiny 2, by every standard, is a completely different game. Almost. Way more game mechanics, way more game design, way more storytelling, and way more loot. Outside of that, it's just interesting. And of course, Marvel Rivals, being the way it is, it's got a new update out, and my brother's been wanting to play it. I made a deal with him. Said I'd play 4 hours of Marvel Rivals, and then afterwards, I flipped that. 4 hours of Destiny first, because I have a quest I want to do, and he's got some stuff he wants to level up, yada yada yada. And then Also, Marvel Rivals immediately after, because new update stuff, loot, but like, I promised him I'd play it. I'm going from 2 p.m. to 10 p.m. today, so stay tuned for that. Hopefully by the time I end recording this, I'll have it posted, and then I'll have like maybe 30 minutes of break time, maybe, and then at 2 p.m. I'll start streaming and recording at the same time. You guys are gonna get one very, very, very long VOD to watch on Orb's Vault, which I cannot wait to post. I hope you're enjoying some of the videos I've been putting out. Let me know down in the comments and or the community page, right, stuff. How am I doing? What kind of, like, am I doing okay? Do you think I'm okay? What can I do to improve? What would you like to see? I mean, yeah. I should continue much higher. Come on. Higher. And I'm sitting here in silence. I'm trying to figure out like what would be the appropriate gist, because we hit two take profits. We're at the first one. We just need to make it past that second, close above it. We need a valid break of structure, continuation of structure through trendline highs. I know we're in a downtrend. I know we're in a retrace. know we are. That candle closed. Move up, retrace, failed, move up. Move down was a failed attempt to continue lower. Move up, closed within that range. Either it continues moving higher within trend, or it breaks below, breaks structure back to the downside, and we crash out. There's potential for us to get a doji here, so I'm inclined to wait. And retrace down, no biggie. Pardon me. I just got blasted by an ad. weird. "43 minutes. That low's pretty low down there, but at the same time, that's not that far. It's not that far of a drop at all. If it breaks structure there, definitely getting cooked. I think I was right. This being a manipulation of this high here. Let's see, market manipulators moved past this high just long enough to fill their sell orders for it to plummet. The move is correct until it is not. It is not the PM session yet, as far as I know. I'm going to stay here, I'm going to watch, I'm going to pause the video, I'm going to wait for it to do its thing. I will unpause when I have made a decision to exit the market. BRB. Okay, so I have come to the decision, I have come to the realization, I've come to the ultimate no-go. I want to go up 1 penny, just one. I'm going to leave at 0.08. I will have made 1 penny, and I will be in the positive for the month of July. That is currently what I want to happen. I have successfully made 3 trades that I think are okay. We're still in an uptrend. Major indecision here. Not gonna lie. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and exit. We made 9 pennies. Successful trade. As you can see here, 9 pennies were made. That's a good trade in my opinion. We could have wound up with more. Instead, I chose to wait. My goal is not to be perfect, but to be good enough. To be good enough, I have to know when to call it quits before I wind up losing and ultimately failing. Using my judgment skills and the ability to know and read the market. And assessing my own time limit for the span of time that I have to allot to this task. I can confidently say, with what I've earned today, it was a decent trade. I'm happy to report that right now, as of July 11th, I'm in the positive. I started with $20. Yeah, this says we're down. If we were to add all of, not to balance this, if we were to add all of these numbers up, starting from 0, it would equate to probably negative 0.05. Maybe let's break out the calculator. You guys probably won't be able to see it. If you can, yay. If not, oh well. Let's start with let's go negative 0.06. I've done this before. Let's do it again. Plus 0.02 minus 0.14 minus 0.08 plus 0.10 plus 0.09 plus 0.09. From 0 gives us 0.02. We actually went up 2 pennies, which is exactly where I want to be. We are in the positive. 2 pennies. Period. There is a fee, apparently, every single time we enter of 1 cent. We've taken 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 trades, lost 3 of them. 1 was detrimental. The other 2 were commensurate, but the combination of the rest outweighed those. We have went up 2 pennies. From 0 minus fees. That's where we are with that. Okay? That's where we are. I have successfully learned how to enter the market, and I intend to continue this trend for 3 months. My goal is in a positive, and with the understanding that I have, I am bound determined to make this work 3 months in a row. If I can do it once, I can do it again. Let's get this 3 months down this time. Shall we?